Lovely. Good afternoon, Thomas. How are you?
I'm good, Jessica. How are you?
Good. Very well, thank you. I'll just start by asking about it, whether there's any injuries we need to worry about.
Only to me. I need to stand up. My back is killing me, but the rest should be fine.
Okay, so a full squad to choose from.
Yeah, so far, yeah.
Fabulous. It
Oh, sorry,
seems
no.
that
Christian Nørgaard is still he's not available this game, but besides that, the rest is ready. Yeah, from last game, all are ready.
okay, fabulous. So looking at your run of fixtures, it seems like a pretty tough run. There's some teams that you're facing in the league that are very close to you in the table. You've also got the EFL Cup and the FA Cup, big games there. Does that impact your approach?
No, I would love to say, but of course we know that we have played a lot of games and we're going to play a lot of games. So I would say before we started this run of games just after the November international break, we knew that we were most likely to play between 13 to 15 games in a row, like Saturday midweek. And we had a big discussion, or what you call it, with my coaching staff, my head of medical, my head of performance, and how do we, attack this spell in the best possible way. Where it's about how can we put the strongest team out there every game. But we also know that we need to look at the rotation, freshness, and be aware of that. And we know the players, some players are extremely robust and they can just keep going. And that could be just a freshness issue. Others we need to be a little bit more aware of. So because it's a long season, we're not winning anything in December. It's in the end of April and May where everything needs to be will add up and we'll have the final score. So we're aware, but I try to put the strongest team out every single time, but with that rotation freshness in mind.
Are you happy then that the current players that you have will be enough to sustain this really busy period of quite important matches?
Yeah, I think so. I think they've done. I think they've done well. The players, and they are fit and they are strong. So I must say I'm pleased. As you can know and have seen, we performed quite well and we have in a decent run. But it's all about the next game, and the next one is a big one coming up. And but we're ready for it. We're looking forward to it.
Like you said there, obviously your players are very much performing at the moment, but then I guess as a downside to that, it makes them attractive to other teams. And with the January transfer window coming up, are you worried at all that some of your more high-profile players might be poached by Premier League clubs?
I'm not worried, and I understand why some Premier League club will approach them because we have some very good players. But no players will leave us in January. That's not an option. So they're enjoying playing for Brentford, and we are, how can I say, enjoying the journey, and we do everything we can to get the most out of it. And that is, for what I know, none of the players that want to leave us, and we definitely don't want to let any players go in January.
Any likely to come in, loan deal or otherwise?
Of course, we have some players on loan. We need to just look into should to stay out there, should we take them back? And of course, we're always, aware of the market. It's not like we have a big target in a specific position, but we're always aware.
And again, just talking about the depth of the squad, any concerns about the rising COVID cases and perhaps once again the league being suspended because we are seeing a rise in cases each week?
I would say for a general worldwide perspective, of course, I'm like any other person concerned about the pandemic. In terms of the football side of it, I think, speaking for first and foremost our club, I think the people in charge of the COVID situation are all of us involved in the club. doing a top job in terms of trying to make it the most clinical place to be. And we've also seen that there's been 5, 6, I think, cases over since March. And every single time we have one case, no outbreak in the club. So I think we are doing a very good job. But it is something we need to be extremely aware of, because we've seen, how can you say, a lot of clubs now have shut down. A lot of games is postponed for 14 days period. So we need to be aware of it. It's an area we need to be bang on. But of course, if it keeps rising, it's not in the club we are getting the virus. It's out in the society if they're going shopping or all that. Things can happen. So of course we are very aware of it.
Thank you, Thomas.
You're welcome. David or Mitchell?
Yeah, David, do you want to go?
Yeah. Hi, Thomas.
Hi, David.
What's the latest with Christian's fitness? How's he doing, and when do you kind of expect to have him kind of fully up and running again?
He had a minor setback in the Newcastle game, but we will see the next days, weeks, not weeks, days, week, when he could be fully available again. It was just too short for the Bournemouth game.
Just finally from me, I wanted to ask about Vitali. You seem to be singled out by Cardiff. They seem to be one or two quite tough challenges going on him. I wondered if first off, if he's okay after that, and secondly, whether that's something that he'll now need to expect more of, given the impact that he's had and the reputation he's beginning to establish.
I definitely think the second challenge that was on him was horrendous, and that could have been a red card. But no, he's fine. He's available, and he will start the game tomorrow. He's been very good for us, and one thing is to come into a new country, new club, new culture, and as I think I said before, hit the ground sprinting. It's not even running, and try to how can you say, take over from one of our best players last year, and try to replace him. That's so good, and he deserves a lot of praise. I agree with you. It depends on how we want to play, but of course, depending on how teams are set up, I think we managed to get Vitali on the ball a lot of times against Cardiff, and from there could dictate the game. But we know we have other players. If it's him, they close down. Then we have potentially Matthijs Jensen or potentially Justo Silva. So we try to find a solution. If they close one door, we try to open another door.
Okay, thanks, Thomas. And how are you?
Thank you.
Hi, Thomas. I want to look at Bournemouth just a little bit. They seem to score goals in bunches, and they've only had one over their last couple of fixtures. Just when you look at that side, what do you see that makes them effective, and how do you plan to limit that offensive firepower?
No, I think that Bournemouth have done very well. We all know the statistics about teams getting relegated from the Premier League, and then the year after, all the three relegated teams try to bounce back and get promoted again. And that just shown the last, let's say, 10-year period, been very difficult for just one of the teams to get promoted straight away. I think Bournemouth deserve a lot of praise. First, after Eddie Howe decided to step down, and then they decided to appoint Jason Tindall. They've done a top job. I think that was I really like that approach from the club. They promoted the assistant. They've been there the whole time. They know the culture. They know the style of play. He played in the club as well, and I think he's done a top job so far. With a team that's scored the most goals in the league so far, also looks solid defensively. It's basically a Premier League side we are facing tomorrow. So there's a big challenge ahead of us. And we know with Solanke and Brooks up top, that'll be a big offensive challenge that we need to prepare well for. Of course, I back ourselves to put in a good performance, and I think for the neutral fan, a football fan who will watch the game live on Sky tomorrow, hopefully it'll be a game between two good sides that want to take initiative and try to take control of the game. And I think there will be spells where we'll be on top and we'll try to create, and there will be spells where Bournemouth will be on top and they will try to create. And I think it will be the small margin that will decide this game. There could be a set piece. There could be one top action from one of the players on the pitch. Because I think we will, how can you say, cancel each other out in a way, or it could potentially be a game like that.
And you kind of spoke with Jessica about this a little bit, that there's a lot of this season left to go. But when last year came down to such a narrow margin and the table finally starting to spread out just a little bit more in the league, how crucial could it be to get 3 points against someone you're on level with right now, right near the promotion zone?
It's a big game for both teams. We respect Bournemouth a lot, and I think they're one of the biggest favorites to go get promoted this year. They showed that from the start of the year, and they are in a very good position. They have the experience in the team, and they have the quality. And we have done decent. So I think it's going to be a big game between two teams that want to attack. And of course, we'll go for the win. I guess the Bournemouth will go for the win as well. So it'll be a top test for where we are.
And I think lastly, just with a couple more matches here before you see Tottenham in the semifinal. I understand the one match at a time concept, but how do you, as a leader, try and keep the squad's the squad's focus, not overlooking these crucial league games before they try and reach a final, which would be massive?
I think the players definitely passed the first test, but also the most important test, because that was the game after the Newcastle win and after the draw of Tottenham, and they just showed that they didn't have not spent one single thought on Tottenham in the semi-final. They only had one focus, and that was the Cardiff game, because it would also have been quite easy to not collapse, but we're going 1-0 down away to Cardiff, a difficult game, a strong opponent, and they just bounced back, and we just added another level and won, and a clear win against a very good side that I 100% sure think will challenge for top 6 this year, Cardiff. So, and now we're playing Bournemouth, that is a top side. I'm not in doubt at all that the players will be massively focused. That's been our, one of our main principles the last 2 years, that it's the next training, it's the next recovery day, it's the next game. That's where we need to put absolute 100% focus in if we want to achieve anything.
Cheers.